Make a habit of empathy, to recognize ourselves in each other.
Empathy, as I see it, is a sense that we recognize in ourselves that which is also in other people. So it's partly about seeing. And so that was the area that I sort of started with. I started just playing with some ideas of, what might happen seeing the other in yourself. What might there be an image that would capture that? I went to the idea of an eye and an iris and trying to play with these lines on a piece of paper to see, well, what might happen, what might come of that. And I even explored over here the possibility of something to do with hands, with the sensitivity on the ends of fingers or of nerve endings that come to the ends of hands, that there's something about the sensitivity to another that's connected in some way to the sensitivity that we have through our nervous system. So I was playing with a variety of ideas, and actually what I came to eventually in playing with this was this idea that if you put two mirrors facing each other, the sort of thing that people, you see this sometimes in bathrooms or other kinds of locations where there might be mirrors, a lot of mirrors, dressing room, that sort of thing. A dance studio might have something like that, only the mirrors probably tend to be farther apart. But let's say that there are two mirrors fairly close to each other, enough so that when you look in one, you see multiple reflections because the image bounces back and forth. And depending on where you stand and where you look, you might, and especially if they're not completely parallel, but if they're slightly bent toward each other, you see a myriad of images of yourself. You're looking out, and at the same time you see yourself reflected many times, sort of in other images, as if it were another person. So I was sort of playing with that as an idea. And then I also remembered, since I do a lot of video work, that something that happens with video feedback is that when you have somebody, let's say this larger rectangle, you have somebody standing by a monitor and you take a picture of that, you get a picture of the picture. And what plays back on the monitor is a picture of the picture of the picture, and it sort of goes off into infinity as well. The idea of it is that it's multiple images that might suggest that you are both inside and outside, that you have a connection somehow with that which is outside of yourself, but that you recognize that in yourself what is over there is also over here, and what is over here is also over there, that both of those things actually exist. I think on a very real, emotional, sensitive plane, there is this feeling of connection. When we at least stop and allow it to happen, it's easy to ignore that and to put a wall around ourselves and to go through the world isolated from or inoculating ourselves against that sense of feeling. But if we really stop and look and listen, we get that sense, and you're aware of this multiplicity of images of your own self out there as well as in here.